Hi there. Thank you so much for stopping on by. For today, I wanted to talk about dealing with acne and acne scars and how I personally deal with those situations. So, for myself, I have a fairly sensitive and combination skin, and every now and then I deal with the typical whiteheads and blackheads and flare ups. And I also deal with a bit of cystic acne, mostly on my chin and on the sides of my cheeks, as well as my eyebrows. And over the past summer and fall season, I went through a really bad case of adult acne. So I have a lot of scarring on my cheeks and on the bottom of my chin as well. So I just kind of wanted to make a video just chatting about how I handle those situations, and I just cope with trying to heal the skin and deal with my scars, and hopefully someone can kind of take a few tips for themselves to help them with their acne problems. So the number one tip that I always try to follow, and it's hard for me to follow up with, but just try to avoid picking at your skin at all cost. It's the most important step, and it is the hardest step to follow through with, but it is the number one causes for acne, is the constant picking and prodding at your skin. And a few little things that try to help me avoid that situation is to sort of trim down my nails and file them so they're not too sharp for handy picking. And I just try to avoid touching my face altogether because your fingers are very oily and dirty to begin with. And on my free time, I really try to avoid the mirror and trying to look at any sort of handy mirrors that I have, because it's just really easy to just sit there and just spend like countless hours just looking at your face and trying to pick out all the sort of problems that you have. So if you find yourself in that bad habit, just try to find something else to do with your free time in your hands. And a bit ago, I would always leave little reminders on my mirror as well, just to try to discourage the bad habit. And I would write just the basic stop picking at your skin, just do something else with your free time. And another one that was really handy was to remind myself that the skin takes almost a year to heal. And even then, there could be permanent discoloring or scarring with that. So that definitely helps sort of discourage me from constantly picking at my face. Another thing is to just be very gentle with your skin as well, even with like if you have a typical flare up or like really bad cyst, just try to avoid being very harsh and using either a very harsh like mechanical cleanser or manual cleanser. It's just best to try to let the skin do what it can, because it's really doing its best to heal itself and prevent the bacteria from spreading and further infections and things like that. So I always try to use gentle cleansers and just use like a basically massaging motion, and almost always the skin is able to just handle the spot on its own, and it just goes away like that. And another thing is that whenever I feel a rising cyst or pimple, I like to use a bit of honey on it. And I'll show you the honey that I use. So it's just like a nice little cream honey that I have handy here. I mostly use it for my tea, but I sometimes like to use it on my spots as well, because it's really good at just helping with the redness and the swelling and the pain, just because honey is like a natural like antibacterial, which is really nice. I also like to use lightweight moisturizers, because I feel like using very heavy creams could kind of lead to clogged pores a bit more, therefore like a bit more like unnecessary little spots. So I did move to using oils and lightweight moisturizers to kind of help with that issue. And there's other things like just like the basic hygienic habits that might help with the acne. You could always switch out your pillowcases every night, or just try to keep up with washing your pillowcases and your bed sheets on a good basis, as well as makeup brushes or any sort of like facial tool that you have. Maybe keep your hair away from your face because that could have a lot of oil as well. And also make sure that the products that you're using aren't inspired or products that have gone bad, because that could cause a lot of irritation and acne as well. And for the acne scarring, again, as you could see, I have, or it might be hard to see because I still have a bit of makeup on, but I always try really hard to help with the acne scars that I have, and the few steps that I follow with that is to not pick at the scabs. Again, your skin's really trying hard to heal itself and prevent any sort of further damage. Just let the scab be, because even though as ugly as it looks, the skin's really needs that scab to be there to protect itself. And if you pick it off too early, that can lead to the permanent damage or the permanent scarring that you might see on your face. Once the redness and the pain has gone away from where the scab is, you could gently exfoliate it with like a very gentle hand and a very gentle exfoliator, because the scab will always fall off on its own, and you're just kind of left with sort of like a bit of redness or pinkness on the skin. And in that case, from there on, you had to be very gentle and very consistent with protecting that area. So I always try to use antioxidants for the skin, because it really helps with keeping it healthy and sort of warding off bacteria, as well as accelerating the healing of scars. A few antioxidants I use, or the one main one I use, is Temunu oil, right there. And another really good one that I love to use is argan oil. So with the scarring, you'll really have to make sure that you're protecting it on a daily basis too. So always try to use sunscreen. A good sunscreen for yourself will be SPF 30 or higher. That's probably the most ideal sunscreen that you should use, because the sun can cause hyperpigmentation on your scarred areas and can make them appear very dark very quickly. So definitely use sunscreen on your face, and always use some sort of sun protection, whether it's like a hat or long sleeves, things like that. Last thing is to just try to be patient. It's again, that's a really hard step to follow through with. But if you're just really constant with these little steps with healing your scars and just helping them fade away, eventually your scars will be kind of a thing of the past. I know for myself already, I've seen like a huge difference with my scars, because I've been keeping up with these steps, as well as using my scar gel that I bought late winter, and that's really helped as well. I made a video about that just about a week ago, so definitely check that out if you're curious about that. So yeah, those are just kind of like the small little basic steps that help me deal with my acne and the scars that I have. And again, I really hope that this helps some people, and I hope you really enjoyed the video. If you have any sort of comments or questions or concerns, definitely leave them down below, and I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a great day or night. I'll see you soon.